Greetings all. I wanted to come on and do a preemptive warning of sorts for this video because it's around a heavy topic. Um, with it being Mental Health Awareness Month and Mother's Day earlier in the month, I thought this was the ideal time, though there's never a perfect time to have this discussion. There is one part in the video where I misspoke. I said the natural order of things was or is parents outliving the child, and of course, I meant the natural order is the child outliving the parent. So, again, this is around grief and loss of a child. And my guest was gracious enough to say yes. So, without further ado, I hope you find some benefit from this video.
Hey, what's going on, peeps? Welcome back to Tavern Take 5. I am Gayla, aka the Awkward Introverted Therapist, and with me today is a childhood friend, bestie, and when I say childhood, going back to the age of 3 or 4. Yes, that long ago. Um, in the preempt to this, I advise that this may be a heavy topic, so there may be tears, so grab some tissue. But without further ado, introducing Dawn Moore.
Hi, everyone.
And as I said, this could be heavy. This is the month for it. There is never an ideal time to have this conversation, but with it being Mental Health Awareness Month, and then Mother's Day was earlier this month, um, it came to me that I wanted to do this, and Dawn was gracious enough to say yes to this. So thank you once again for agreeing
You're
to do
welcome.
this. And so, without further ado, we'll get right into it. Most of you probably don't know, Dawn. So, um, this topic is around grief and loss. Dawn lost her eldest daughter. So I will let you go where you want to go with this because you are totally in charge.
Hi, everyone. I just want to share my story, or as well as sharing Chelsea's story. Um, she was very gifted in poetry. Um, so let's go back when we talk about poetry. Um, she was demonstrating some issues, behavior issues that I was trying to correct. Didn't know what was going on and went through EAP, tried to seek help and trying to find out what was going on. And some things has transpired. Um, Finding out that she could have like some type of behavior or mental health issues. So we did try some medication, but I didn't like it as a parent because it made her like glassy eye, just withdrawn, no emotion at all. And I just didn't like it. So I tried another therapist and we were going a different route. And that seemed to work as far as keeping her organized with school,
Hmm.
her notebook, and stuff like that. And that still wasn't quite fit. So Gayla, um, she saw like, I guess, radio about Sister Keeper
Hmm.
and say, hey, try this, maybe this will work. So I said, okay, I'll try it. And that was like in sixth or seventh grade, and it worked for her. Um, Sister Keeper is an awesome organization here in St. Louis, Missouri, with young teens like Chelsea that navigate through life, mental, whatever that they are going through.
Hmm. And they changed their
And
name, right?
yes, it's called the I Define Me movement.
Okay.
Well, the founder is still the same. It's just, changed the name a little bit. So
Hmm.
she's a licensed therapist, and that worked. So with that, it really helped Chelsea being grounded and finding that tool that she needed to,
Mhm.
like, when you're having those difficult moments or just challenges as a adolescent teen. So that helped to know there are like-minded teen girls like her,
Mhm.
and she found her niche. So that really worked well for her up through 18. And when she came an adult, what can we do? They are
Mhm.
grown, so to speak, and they navigate and they don't need that anymore and trying to embark on what they want in for their life. So
Mhm.
it just looked like it'll go up and down. So when we talk about being mental health month awareness, that Chelsea didn't accept the diagnosis. She
Mhm.
didn't want no part of the diagnosis. So she self-medicated. So a lot of times, she would drink, maybe drugs. So
Mhm.
as a parent, we don't want to see that at all. So she lost her life almost 2 years ago, tragically, unexpected, um, with a single car accident that took her life. And something that I didn't really discuss with you because it's like one of those things. It's like you're a therapist, you're my friend, you're a godmother. So what do you
Mhm.
do? Um, so I had to navigate through that, and it was nothing towards you.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things that when we try to protect people, and I guess that was my way of protecting you, um, so the sense in
Mhm.
in my sense, not like protection, but sometimes we have to let our guards down, and I
Mhm.
didn't want to open up more wounds or feelings and everything. Um, but yeah, she was not wearing a seatbelt, and I preach seatbelts all the time, but it's things that caused the accident that was some things that we can pray.
Mhm.
I prayed and prayed, just not in general for that particular incident, but I when I couldn't um get her to listen or like shed advice or how to
Mhm.
find some other kind of ways. We talk about support groups or
Mhm.
um surrounding yourself with healthier people and not
Mhm.
people that the soil is saturated with toxins.
Mhm.
So when you're trying to remove yourself, you have to remove your whole self. And that was hard for her because that was the area that she felt more comfortable of
Mhm.
herself. So, as a mother, the last 6 months of her life, she was here with me because she dealt with homelessness um, because of some issues surrounding that mental health navigation of hers that she was self doing. So, if it wasn't for my husband,
Mhm.
talking sense into me, I don't know if I would have said no. So that's another rejection. So he said yes. So we talked, and she said, I promise not to do X, Y, and Z, you know.
Mhm.
So like 30, 29, 30, So, you still got rules and everything. But he was like, she's safe. She shouldn't be in a shelter because that's even worse.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with those issues,
Mhm.
it's a place that it does help, but then it's just the environment um, that when people are seeking shelter and everything, that some is just temporary and some may not have a way out. So I'm thankful for that as far as her being back because I got a chance to see her every day. She works
Mhm.
so much. It's
Yeah.
like you never, never trying to get ahead.
Mhm.
So not taking advice, from a trusted adult
Mhm.
and listening to the wrong devices that makes it worse, because you
Yeah.
can see the tunnel that they are going down and you like, but then she's an adult. She have to make her own decisions. So I'm very thankful for that. So leading up to that day, um, it was almost like, who wants to get a call? I was still dazed getting that call. Not really a call, but like the doorbell ring
Mm-hmm.
after 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
So it's like, so I didn't get the news in person. I got the news over the phone because the officer should have gave me that information, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And to hear that it was devastating. I just put it that way. It was devastating, very devastating because I just lost my brother, an oldest brother, unexpectedly, probably to a massive heart attack just that January.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
So that, yeah, two significant losses in a matter of less than a year. And the natural order of things, of course, you outlive your children. That's the natural order. So getting that notification, not sure if the officer was maybe still on the scene or what have you, but that's devastating because even with us, the conversation, like I don't remember like our conversation. I just remember you saying she didn't make it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who didn't make it where? And then when you said it was like,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't make sense. And it was like, no. So I can't imagine. So yeah. And the thing with regards to when you're talking about the mental health, we see a lot of that when people get caught up on that diagnosis and they feel that that's the sign, that's the thing that says I am this diagnosis. No, just like if a person has high blood pressure, diabetes, or what have you, they're not that illness. The same with mental health. And if we could get that understanding, maybe that will help people to embrace the illness so they can get the right treatment and be okay. But yeah, people who, excuse me, don't who don't want that stigma attached to them, we see that a lot where they self-medicate or they take medications for so long and they say, "Oh, I'm feeling great. I don't need it anymore," only to relapse or fall back or fall down worse than where they were, and then struggle with being displaced from homes and all of that. But with all of this, what would you say was the hardest part through all of this? So even starting with the struggles of the seeing her life unfold as it did to when you got the news, what would you say, if you can identify the most challenging part, I should say?
Not being able to help her in a sense where I see it, taking on what she was going through. That was the most difficult thing for me to like actually let go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like I was like a roller coaster, like you keep nagging and saying, do this, do that. The hardest part was I had to let go because of, as a mother, we don't want to see our child or children go through and take on that burden that was not mine to carry. But
Mm-hmm.
then um I felt like that I know I did not fail her. I know that for a fact. um but the difficult thing is when I'm dealing with trauma, it repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things, like everything I saw her going through, it was like I was reliving
Mm,
my own environment. It wasn't me, it was my environment that I was in.
mhm,
So I asked God why that I'm seeing this to unfold, like not being able to help her. So
mhm,
that's the one thing to like, I really wish and I prayed, like to take her out of the environment she was in and to
mhm,
literally pick her up and put her in a healthier environment. But I couldn't do that neither
mhm,
because I didn't want to fight. So I had to change my way of thinking and just love her where she was at. And that
that's
worked. That
mhm,
actually worked better for me and
okay.
it helped her even more. So our time, that was her time. I don't know what she prayed to God about. I can
Mhm,
only go back with some of the stuff she posted and some of the stuff she wrote. And I can kind of see now, um, like she was actually crying out for help
mhm,
in a sense of, you know, where do I fit? You know, why is this happening? I want the same thing as my other peers, to have, to be in a place where all the things that I hope for, especially with her poetry, to be a writer, to make a name for herself. But
mhm,
then I got this I'm dealing with, this mental illness and friends not understanding and why every time if I'm taking a step forward
mhm,
is two steps back. So she, it's like I don't know what else to do. I know what to do, but to be able to get it from your parent that actually nurtured you up to this point.
mhm. Yeah, the struggle of life. Um, Life is a challenge for many people, and when you throw in a mental health illness, it makes it that much more challenging, um, or it can make it that much more challenging. So, with the revelation of seeing things play out, and like you said, it was kind of like you reliving things. How did it affect you, or what did it do for you? So taking a step back from Chelsea for a moment and just with you, how did that did it change the way you move or behave or anything?
Well, I was already changing,
Hmm.
trying to like that was the past. So in my mind, it's like you can't live there and trying to live right now.
Hmm.
So I guess some of my stuff died or let go when that particular thing died. I don't want to go into
Yeah.
details,
Hmm.
but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a relief that that particular thing died.
Hmm.
It was almost a relief in a in that I don't have to walk around in shame. So we talk about surviving. I got out.
Hmm.
I didn't want none of that. So I did all the things that I was telling Chelsea about. I did it because I believe wholeheartedly that your mother is my angel. She saved me. I can remember this green car driving down the street and I'm jumping rope. And she like, hey, I'm going to pick up Gayla from preschool. You want to go? And I run in the house, ask my mom, and she knew who it was. Be like, oh, Miss Gibson. She like, sure. So those are those moments that God places people and things and in your life if you see the signs.
Mhm.
So many a times we just have to like pause and see the good in the individual around us. And a lot of times we may be attacked and it's not the person. Maybe the person may be bringing a trigger. Or for me, I felt like I don't, what I want to say, good things to happen to me because of my trauma or the ugliness from it. Like I don't deserve it. So I
Okay.
have to start letting go. So with when we talked about how has this right now with Chelsea, it's making me appreciate those individuals in my life. And I was bleeding on those individuals.
Mhm.
So I got my own counseling and dealt with some things, and I do active in my church and outreach ministry, and I'm just a giver.
Mhm.
So I had to start giving to me, pouring into me.
Yes.
Um,
Indeed.
so we that was the past. So we talk about not being a diagnosis. I thought I was protecting myself because I was in my own sunken place
Mhm.
in my mind. Wasn't nobody there.
Mhm.
So the devil, I just those thoughts, those I'll say negative thoughts,
Mhm.
and healing from that.
Yeah. Yeah. Our childhoods can create who we are, but it doesn't define who we can become. And so allowing yourself to heal from those traumas and cut those cords or those break those chains of it, it does allow you to, like you said, understand those things of the past. I didn't deserve them. They're not mine. I deserve the good. I deserve the blessings. I deserve to be loved and cared for, and understanding that and walking in that and allowing yourself to believe that. Absolutely. Um, so in doing that, and this is a journey that you continue, of course.
Yes.
And so kind of jumping back in, because this journey, this was this was the was this the first Mother's Day? Let's see, 2 years.
Oh,
Let's
this is my second Mother's Day
second Mother's
without.
Day. Yeah.
For the
Second
first
Mother's
Mother's Day was really hard,
Day.
and I was like that. I guess a different type of feeling came over, even part of this Mother's Day too, and prom and stuff, and I was like, why God? Like everyone else is happy, to have their child, or
Mm-hmm.
it's like I can't celebrate that. But
Mm-hmm.
then I'm also, I want to be selfish. I felt selfish, like everyone's happy and I'm not happy. But this Mother's Day was much better than last year.
Okay. So, what's helped you? So, for anyone, and of course, everybody's journey is different, but what are the things that helped you get through the first, all of those first birthday, first your birthday, first her birthday, first Mother's Day, up to this point? What are the things that you did to help you get here?
First, it was my faith in God foremost. So, and then support from true family and friends, prayer, and a lot of prayer and
Mhm.
a lot of crying. I'll let the emotion, if it comes in like a tsunami, I let
Mhm.
it come and then let it go back out. I wouldn't stay there. Getting out of bed, I get out of bed,
Mhm.
um, shower, like the normal routine. I know it sounds crazy for some individuals out there, but I already dealt with like some form of depression prior
Mhm.
to this. So using the tools from counseling
Mhm.
helped me all the way through this point.
Awesome. Yeah. The thing of it is, those things that we take for granted, just getting up, and you're like, you just get up. No, if you have a boulder sitting on your chest, do you just get up? No, it's a fight, it's a struggle. So when you're talking about loss, depression, anxiety, any of those things, they can weigh you down. So being able to just do some of those daily tasks that we do, that's a win. Every single one of them, checking them off is an absolute win. Are there any things that you would say to a person, whether it's they're dealing with the same things or some similar things with their children or a child or dealing with grief? Are there any things that you would say or you want to say to anyone?
Don't give up, no matter the situation. Just don't give up on your child and don't give up on you. It's a way that you can navigate when your own child don't receive it. As far as getting help, maybe the relationship is a strain, but that doesn't um, say that you've given up. I just turned it around and just started praying more. So I let God handle that to give me the peace that I need, the right words to say, where if I'm having a conversation that is not so much is like attacking, but more out of love. Um, the month prior, I was able to reconcile with Chelsea as far as the things, our relationship,
Mhm.
and there's no manual on how to parent. And sometimes that trauma did show up, and I was able to apologize. So that was my most definitely piece that I would want anyone or any parent to know. Yes, we don't like what we see, but we can definitely pray and ask God for guidance. Um, seek like-minded support of other parents that has a loss of a child. And if that still doesn't work for you, there's still other avenues that you can take. Take time out for yourself, um, pause. And if you need to take a break from work, I took 2 months off um, with family medical leave. So just take time out. It won't last forever. And the words that you gave me, I'm starting to learn even more. It's okay not to be okay. Most definitely. That's my takeaway. It's okay not to be okay.
Mhm. Because the fact that she's not here, that's never going to be okay. The pain may lessen, but it's never going to be okay. The fact that she's not here or anyone loses someone, but the pain lessens as you do the things that you do that are right for you, whether that's praying to God, higher power, meditating, seeking help through therapy, all of those different things. Absolutely. Um, as you, and so it's still a journey. It continues to be a
Yeah.
journey because it's nothing that, okay, yeah, I had a good Mother's Day, I'm fixed. No.
Mhm.
So what's next for you? What are the things that you look forward to day to day?
Um, Seeing if there's someone else that I can help. So my passion and my why is our youth. So taking that um, to navigate through some things and look at this and say, as a mother, and then as a young adult or a child, to use those tools that I learned during this process to give back to others, my community, my family, and just take one day at a time. That's all we are promised. What can I do in this day? I'm still trying to navigate my own self because I'm not the best organized person, but I will definitely drop what I'm doing to help somebody else. That won't ever, ever change.
But not at the expense of yourself, right?
Right. Not I know when to cut it off now, but not like that. But I'm
Yeah.
saying like advice, guidance, a
Mhm,
resource. I'm very resourceful. Like now, um,
mhm,
maybe, someone's out there listening. I know someone's out there listening, to let them know that, hey, this happened to me, or it's not, it's something that I experienced. I'll put it that way.
mhm,
And to just um, find something that you love, your purpose, and make that part of my new normal or your new normal.
mhm,
It can be done. It takes a little work and time.
mhm,
It's not going to happen overnight, but you know, um, with reading a grief book that I had,
mhm.
and it had grief of a child, a parent, a mother, a spouse. Each story I read, they started support groups. They used that and left I'm going to say like 9 to 5, and
Mhm.
turned that into their mission.
Okay. Alright. So is that your way of saying that that's what you're looking to do, or?
I will say that I am starting to be more in my community,
Mhm,
to try to sit in on those support groups, sit in on what's affecting my community, and writing a plan.
okay.
Um, I have some things in my mind, um, but I'll see how that goes. I definitely need to write some things down.
Brain dump it and then start organizing it. Get it out of the head and then
Yeah,
put the puzzle together.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if there is nothing else, I want to thank you once
You
again
welcome.
for taking the time out to be here to share your story and just being an inspiration and a guide and a caring person within the community. Um, your what you do could help somebody, a youth, to go a different route, whereas maybe they were spiraling. So continue to do that.
Thank
Share
you.
your story where you feel that inspiration to do so, and that's it. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Um, Gayla, aka the awkward introverted therapist. Again, my childhood bestie, doing more. Tavern Take 5 out.